Diary listeners, it is Thursday. Kelly Mendenhall is the focus, and she has been the focus the past couple weeks. This is the last piece, the third part of her diary entry with us. But I have to stress, Kelly, and deeply apologize. This has been my most delinquent output of podcasting that I've done in a very long time. You hit waves where you gotta, just record yourself, or you find a random person and you're like, hey, I like you, come get on the show, talk to me for a little bit. I want to, I have this schedule that I'm trying to enforce in podcasting, but yeah, dude, like this year, it's funny because I started the year out with a determination. You're always destined to be derailed by doing that. God knows to derail me. But I do apologize for this being the most delinquent series of podcasting. I typically try to have podcasts out by Tuesday. It's usually, hello listeners, happy Tuesday, but it's Thursday now. I mean, at least I'm posting a day of the week that ends with Y, So forgive me, and listeners, Kelly, I deeply appreciate your patience. This week we are calling this part of our time with Kelly J Mendenhall. We're calling this emotional agility. I almost messed it up. And, I'm already starting out with some apologies. I'm asking a lot of you guys. You've been very, very patient with me. So already a lot of emotional agility has had to take place in order to get here. But I felt after revisiting this section of our time, that was the best name to call this. So I hope you all enjoy, and I thank you. I thank you all very much. Welcome to the Apprenticeship Diaries, where raw meets refined.
Let's be real, we're still working on refining.
What it took, what it takes, and the stories that are made.
Join us as we learn from professionals about how their stories began.
Well, I think the thing that I've been just trying to do now is not be so myopic, because it's a whole other thing when you realize that, like, because I just zoned into my work, like that was it. But in that space, I cut out a lot of things that were important, family, friends, things like that. And so now balancing all of that, and that's the reason why I'm bringing it up, is because there's a lot more help than you think there is. I think a big thing that I tend to do is shut down and retract and retreat away from people when I don't feel like I'm able to be, be there fully. And I'm trying now, just this whole thing, to your point, and why I think you're so amazing is that, you wrote a book, you blog, you advocate, all of these things, like that kind of stuff. It might feel like it, you might be in the muck of it, but that kind of stuff encourages people to understand. Well, first of all, they understand what you're going through. It allows them the ability to actually help in ways that you can't imagine. It gives people the opportunity to fill in those spaces that you didn't think would come. If you just keep those connections, a lot to balance, but like I think it's so much better when you actually speak and talk and share, because a lot of it is like, I think as a society, we think we can throw money at things, and whilst money helps, the problem is that what I found in like places like the ghetto is that when you're not raised about like how to take care of a house, like how do you build a wall? You don't know that, okay, you have a leak in your ceiling. It's caused by a leaky pipe that is causing the hole. I've literally watched a person fix the hole before they fix the plumbing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you think to yourself, oh, like just use your common sense. It's like, well, no, not. That's not very common.
Yeah, I have to say to Jeff all the time, honey, it's not common sense.
No.
I wouldn't know that if I wasn't with you.
Yes. And that's the thing is that we got to talk and share and allow people to help us and to fill in that information, that gap. And that's what I feel like is really necessary. Is a lot more people just coming together and just trying, like you said, just a fraction of human kindness.
Yeah. Just like a little bit. And it's not that hard. If he would have been like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. Like, that's my bad. I'll move my truck. It would have been so different. It could have been so different, but he was just such a dick about it.
I mean, even just to sit there and watch you while he's smoking a cigarette. I mean, think about how you're using your time. Even just to have reacted to the fact of what he saw. Right. You got hurt. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, no.
I just saw you do all that. Are you okay? Anything.
I know. But, and that's why I said when I posted that video, I wrote, like, if that dude saw this video and said to me, hey, I'm really sorry about that. Like, I didn't take into consideration that you might have shit going on that I couldn't see. I was having a bad day and I took it out on you. I'd forgive him in a second.
Yeah.
But it's not okay to just walk around treating people like shit all the time. His wife was inside when he did it too. And I thought to myself, I wonder if you would have acted like that toward me if your wife would have been out here. Or how would your wife have reacted to how you reacted? And how do you treat your wife? That's where my head goes.
Yes.
And I'm like, how do you treat your wife when she's at home? Like, how would you respond if it was your wife screaming in pain in a parking lot and you saw a guy talking to her the way you're talking to me? Like, what?
Yes.
What would you do? But when you're in so much pain and shock, you don't have anything to say. You're just like, just help, please. And then
I'm so tired right now. Just everything got derailed in a second.
Yeah, dude.
That's, I think we have a lot more in common than anything.
Probably.
Just so you know, I think we're a lot it's the whole Jeff paradigm. Like I see a lot of things that people want. I just can't legitimately give credence to how they're going to get there. And that's really where the rubber meets the road for me. It's just like, I know the players we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I know how they work. I know how they move. I know what level of cutthroat they're willing to be with. You're in a cloud, baby doll. And I wish life worked that way, but I know the characters and it ain't going to work like that. I'm just going to tell you right now. So that's more it with me. It's not that I don't want the same thing as what everybody else wants. I think I've lived around people that, I understand what people say, I can't argue them. I've experienced it. I've also seen it from a compassionate view for them too. I had a friend of mine say to me recently about somebody that we were kind of talking about. She goes, that's a very graceful thing to say about him. I was like, well, yeah, because, I gotta give that kind of grace because, one, as we've been discussing this whole time, you can either laugh about it or cry about it. And I like to think that most people are doing the best with what they have. That's my genuine view.
People the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Until you give me reason not otherwise, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Until it's acutely shitting on me. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I'm going to believe what you say to me. I'll believe what you say your human experience is, and I will believe your perspectives, and I will trust that you are sharing with me your honest view on life until you give me reason to believe otherwise.
And
I don't think most people operate that way. I think most people are looking for an agenda. They're looking for someone to have an ulterior motive or an agenda, and then it's that confirmation bias again. Like
I think
a
that's a
lot of
trauma
times.
response too, though. And that's the thing, is that I pain that is not transformed is transmitted. And so that's why I give it
Yeah.
grace, is that, like, that's their way of, I said this one time to a girl that was talking to me, and she did advocate for LGBTQ rights and Black Lives Matter and all of that. And I said, well, that's great. Like they need their help too. I said, you know who I advocate for? And she's like, what? And I said, white men. And she was like, and I was like, hear me out. Hear me out. I was like, listen, as far as I can tell, there are white men. I said, in general, men struggle with adequacy. That's their entire thing. If they're not adequate amongst themselves, amongst just male groups themselves, that starts a whole spiral of things. And that's from like little guy to adult male. And I'm like, so that's just what a man struggles with, period.
Yeah.
Within the communities you've talked about, they've actually formulated communities so they can walk around and high five each other and give each other support. Yeah. Where is that for white males?
Right.
They don't gotta, I mean, you might think they have a boys club, but if you've actually been in that club,
if you've actually
shitty.
talked to them, if you've actually talked to them,
not nice to each other.
No, it's a horrible club.
They like, I've literally seen them grab each other's balls, and grab them.
Yeah, painfully.
So understand that, like, there is no like, it's okay, buddy. You can try again better next time. It's like, stop crying. Shut up. Get back in there.
Or I'll give you something to cry about.
Right. I'll give you something to cry about. And I was like, and also she was telling me how she was the first in her family to graduate from high school. I said, well, imagine being top 10% of your class and not feeling good enough because you're so-and-so's kid. I said, you might feel the dehumanization of being like in a certain class of person just because you feel like there's certain attitudes and things like that. Imagine the attitude of having to keep a standard that was set before you.
And that no one ever taught you how to keep.
Right.
No one taught you how to process emotions or express emotions or handle stress or have healthy outlets. Everyone your whole life just said, be a man.
Right. And then just swallow all the rest of that stuff. Like, just eat it.
And we're not going to tell you how to be a man, but we're going to tell you to be a man. And it definitely involves not crying.
Yes.
And it definitely involves not being weak.
Yes.
So don't be those things.
Yes. And meanwhile, like, take care of all these people too. Yeah. That you've wed yourself
for all these people that you provide for, like Jeff the other day was like, honey, I'm not complaining, but I just need you to understand from my perspective, I am trying so hard every day to give you my time, give Christopher my time, give Maddie my time, give Petunia my time, and make sure everybody's feeling like they're getting enough time and everybody's safe and everybody's secure and everybody's provided for. And I was like, that definitely, I can't imagine it because I'm not you. I'm not a man. I'm not a plumber. I'm not any of these things, but that's heavy. That sounds really heavy and hard. And I appreciate you for doing it. Cause he's the patriarch of the family and I never had kids before. So the whole family thing is completely new for me. And he was he told Christopher recently, he was like, Bud, you got to think none of us have ever been through this before. We're all finding out together.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've never been 17 before. You've never graduated from high school before. You've never been in love before until now. Kelly's never had a family. She lived her whole adult life single with roommates or a boyfriend. She's never had a whole family. He was like, I've never been this successful before, which is a completely different thing to adjust to.
Weight to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we've come from literal homelessness to six figures in a few years. And it took a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And a lot of sacrifice and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But we're learning it all together. So like we have to give each other grace, you
Jeff
know?
sounds amazing.
He is. He's
He sounds pretty awesome.
He's my best friend. Like
that's really cool.
Like he understands me in ways nobody else ever could. And he can tell what I'm thinking without saying it, which is crazy to me. Like, he can see a certain look on my face and be like, honey, it's okay. We're going to, like, we'll figure it all out. Like, you know, or he'll see a look on my face and be like, he can tell if someone's making me uncomfortable. Like, if someone in conversation is making me uncomfortable, and I'll start to, like, back away. And if that person continues to, like, then Jeff will get between us, and like he's very intuitive about me and what I need, and it's really nice. And I told him sometimes I get really tired of people saying like how lucky he is that I was willing to stand by him because he's an alcoholic in recovery, and he was still actively drinking when we got together. That's what almost killed him, was alcohol.
Yeah.
And people say like, he's so lucky that you stood by him. And it's like, we both chose each other. Like, I was a shell of myself. I was having a mental breakdown. I was physically just in the beginning of recovering from all these surgeries. Yes, he was actively drinking, but like, that wasn't the whole picture. That's not all that Jeff is. Like, he's not just a person with substance misuse disorder. Like, there's a lot of other, and I was like, and like, he gave me the space to feel safe enough to heal. And like, we knew when we got into it that we were both in really dark places, but we talked about it, and we knew that like both of us felt way better when the other one was around. So we were just like, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, and we're not making any promises, or like, we're not, no expectations. We're just going to help each other survive this.
Right.
And that was the only plan. Help each other get through the pandemic and stuff, and like help each other survive and rebuild. And in the process, we fell in love, and he's my person.
Yeah.
And I'm his person, and it's amazing. But what if I would have been like, well, he's just a drunk?
Well, and that's the thing, is that I think it's your capacity for, as you said about the dude outside the laundromat, I think a big reason why you are the person you are too, apart from being badass and not letting the man get you down, is that your power for forgiveness is huge. And that's what's really needed. Especially, you know, in any kind of relationship, because we're not coming to things perfect, people. We're gonna mess up. You know, there is no perfect plan to it. And as you said, like, oh, he's just an alcoholic, that's condemning him. That's making his identity what he suffers from. And meanwhile, you don't do that.
No one else was seeing him sob at night saying, I don't want to drink anymore, and I don't know what to do. He went to hospitals to ask for help. He went to rehab.
And that's one of the ones that can kill you if you cold turkey it. Like it.
Yeah. He had to be hospitalized for a while. Like, basically he was at like beginning stage cirrhosis of the liver. And so he had a varicose vein that had developed in his esophagus, much like people get in their legs, and it ruptured. And he was internally bleeding, and we didn't know it until his body had filled with so much blood that he started vomiting it. Yeah.
Oh my God, poor guy.
So he almost died. And he had asked for help several times. Like, that's what people don't. He had sought help. He knew he was an alcoholic. He knew that he had hit his bottom during COVID. Like, when you're a plumber and you have 2 kids, and also you know nothing about computers, and they're in virtual school now.
Yeah.
And then the government in Michigan says plumbers aren't allowed to work.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not essential. You're not essential.
For the next 6 months, you can't go into anybody's house unless it's an emergency. So 6 months of income, hits alcoholic bottom. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of impact. And like,
Well, I mean, like I said, you're just able to have humanity and compassion for people within that. And that's the thing is it.
But I think that's because of my disabilities too, because
Well,
I was always compassionate. I was always empathic, but I've developed a level of patience and understanding now that I couldn't have developed without going through what I went through. Like
my fortune cookie the other day was patience is the hardest thing to learn. And I think it's because, like you said, if you have something that you need to learn, God's going to keep giving you
opportunities,
to learn it.
Yeah. And I think like one of my therapists said I was very emotionally agile. She's like, you have emotional agility. Like you're able to experience compassion even for people who harm you, which is very unique. And I didn't realize I was like that unique. And she's like, that's not like a normal thing. Like,
yeah,
not everybody can feel compassion like that. And I was like, I don't know. It just makes me look at everything differently. Like the old woman who punched me in the face a couple of years ago, and I didn't call the police or I called the police, but I didn't press charges because I was like, I watch her walk around on a walker or a scooter or a cane half the time. So I know she's living with some kind of pain.
Right.
She's elderly. She seemed drunk at the time, so she wasn't in her right mind. And another woman was like, egging it on and provoking it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, so what good does it do me or her for me to say, yeah, put her in cuffs, and then she goes and rots in a jail cell overnight as an elderly, like as a grandmother who's never been in jail before. I'm going to put her in a jail.
Yeah.
No access to pain meds, no access to her accessibility, like accoutrement.
Yeah.
No, I'm not fucking doing that.
Yeah.
It's not going to do any good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, was she wrong to punch me? Yes. And she admitted it and she apologized. And I think she probably got really scared when the cop showed up. And she's been very friendly ever since.
Well, but and then that's enough because that's what a cop usually, when a cop gets there, hopefully. It's
supposed to be a peace officer, not like, let's escalate it. Yeah. Yes. So, like, I just didn't see the point. And I guess that's kind of just how I live my life. It's like, what end am I trying to obtain?
Yes.
Is this the right way to get to that end?
Yes.
Could I do it in another way that won't cause harm to someone else?
Yep. I think that's it. And, you know, it's, if you're in the habit of wanting redemption, which is the word that kept popping to my mind, if what you want is a redeeming something, whether it's recovery, whether it's, you know, not being in acute pain, whether, you know, if you want an end to these things, you have to be willing to take a little bit of hit to yourself. And that's the thing is that, like, you know, having the ability to find grace for people who even hurt you, it's essential because, like, a wounded dog will bite.
Yeah.
They don't know what you're there for. They don't know if you're a friend or foe. And you're also giving an amazing opportunity. Like in service, they would say, you know, don't ever shit on a person coming back and complaining. That is an amazing opportunity to have a client forever, because that person is doing the one thing that 9 out of 10 people will not do, which is to come back and tell you how they're displeased. So they're giving you a chance to rectify the situation. So I'm sure she's been lovely ever since, because you made a choice that proved to her exactly who you are. And that's really big.
A pooper scooper. Because she has a dog too. And I saw her wrestling with picking up the bag. And she saw me one day walking with Petunia's pooper scooper. She said, what is that? And I said, it picks up her poop, so I don't have to bend over, because she doesn't speak English super clear. So I said, you know, no bend over, pick up poop, you know. And she was like, I need one. How much is it? And I said, they're like $20 on Amazon. And she's like, I don't computer, no Amazon, nothing. So I just bought one and put it on her porch one morning. Because, like, little things like that,
they matter.
The ripple effect can be so much bigger than you ever know.
Yep.
Like,
well, and that's what the On Being a Daymaker book was like. He told a story of a woman who came in and she was not on a regular haircut schedule. She was getting a hairdo. And, his shop, they're all doting on the people. Like that's what they do. And, he's making her feel special, like really trying to like do it up. Cause clearly this is a special occasion,
right.
This is outside of her normal haircut. This is an updo and looking fabulous. Well, I think it was like weeks later, he got a letter from her sister who had written it on her behest. And what had happened after that was that she, instead of doing what she had intended to do, she checked herself into a mental ward because her intention was to kill herself that day. And because of how much he was doting on her and the entire, everybody was getting into her life and asking her questions and like just trying to make her feel good, she realized how crazy she was. And the reason why she went to get her hair done is she didn't want her corpse to look bad. She wanted to have a good hairdo.
How sad is that?
And so she checked herself in and she asked her sister to write him a letter to let him know that he saved her life, that what they gave to her that day made her rethink. And like, dude, I'm tearing up now, but like
I am too. Like
that's the impact you have as a person. And that was such a great book when I was entering in that field to read, because that's what the power you have. My dad has gone to funerals of people that he serviced. He's had kids that have passed away that he was their first haircut. Like there is so much value to those little moments that people just don't think about, like that's huge. That kind of thing.
Human connection saves lives.
Yeah, it's huge. And touch, my dad used to always say, this is a sensual art that we participate in. He's like, because we have to touch. It's sensation.
And it's an exchange of energy and sensations. Yeah.
And that's a hurdle that you have to get through when you're tattooing because you're inflicting pain.
Yeah.
So, you have to be really akin to like, when the skin's had enough, when your clients had too much, where they're in a certain spot, like you have to be okay to put in what's necessary, but also, like kind of shield yourself from what you're doing. It's a lot, but like all those things are so important. And just to be touched in a way that is rare and soothing, to have your hair brushed or
kind touch, positive touch.
My dad's been a really great person to watch lately, because as he's gotten older, he hasn't stopped. He's actually at a pool tournament today.
That's awesome.
After neck surgery, like that's what I think about sometimes too, is like I look at my dad and he's so athletic and stuff. And so I'm like, you got this, kid. It's in your genes. You can do this. But like lately he's been taking on side projects and quests in like elderly community, because he knows how much that, it's so hard to trim your toenails and to like all of those things that you just don't think, like brushing your hair, dyeing your hair, drying your hair, like, getting up. He's done Tai Chi and is a personal trainer certified. So he like goes there, he'll read to people, he'll cut their nails, he'll trim their beards and things like that. Like, and he's trying to like, cause he's still able to, he's trying to put himself to those things to like give those little things that I think are hard. Like people just don't think about them, like how better you feel when those things are done. I know when I'm delinquent with my hair and I know how to do it all. And then I look at it and I'm like, ah, and it's like the first thing you see in the morning, you're like, shit, it's already bad. and you have all this other shit to do and you're like, and it's already bad.
You're like, fuck, why did I get out of bed and look?
And you just want somebody else to do it for you. And I can't even imagine like that scaling into like, I can't right now. And like, I just want somebody to pluck this fucking hair off my face.
Yeah.
I see it. I can't do anything.
I had to go through a lot of that between my surgeries because like I wasn't allowed to shower or bathe or wash my own hair.
Yeah.
I couldn't raise my arms over my head or bend or twist or anything. So I had to have people with me 24/7. So like my friends would come lay in bed with me and watch Schitt's Creek, and like, I mean, it was like I became really good at finding hygiene products on Amazon that help for surgical recovery. Did you know that you can get like pre-shampoo caps? Like they're dry shampoo caps. You get them wet and then you put it on and and the soap's in it and you can wash your hair. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and like the same thing with like sponge bath sponges that already had soap. So I just get it wet and like suds it up, and then I could give myself a sponge bath or whatever.
Question. I know you have a website.
Yeah.
Have you made this a product list that, you get kickbacks from?
I did. So I published an article with Spine Nation with all this stuff, and I'm going to rewrite it because Spine Nation closed. So I'm going to republish it with updated links because that's actually on my list of to-dos for the website because I made like a list of like how to survive spinal surgery or whatever, and it was like all the products that helped with like healing because like there's so many things you don't think about. Like when I got home, I couldn't sit on the toilet. It's from 1968.
Yeah, it's way
so short.
Too low.
Yeah, so I needed toilet donuts, but I didn't know that until I knew it, and I had to poop.
Yeah.
And like our furniture was like mid-century modern style, so the couch was too short, so I had to get a medical lift recliner. And like there's so many things that like you don't know you need it until you need it. So I try to make lists like that and put them out there because it makes it so much easier if somebody who's been through it can say these are the products that helped. Because when you're about to go through something like a major neurosurgery, there's not a lot of space for like thinking about all that because you're just like, how am I going to survive this surgery, Right. But I was always really like careful and cautious about that because of my disability advocacy. I'm really good at like reading and researching other people's conditions and helping like write about them and find truths about them. But like when it came to my own surgeries and things, I had to draw a hard line to not Google any of it because I think the biggest part of success for any major surgery, but especially a spine surgery, is that the patient has to believe it's going to work. And in order for me to hold on to that steadfast belief, because when they first told me, they were like, we can't guarantee it'll help. It's maybe 25% or 50% chance it'll help. Like there's no guarantees because there's so much we don't know, but this is what we think will help. And I remember saying to the surgeon, there is no way that I got this far to only get this far. There's no way. There's no way that I survived the last 2.5 years without getting paralyzed and then ended up like right by the city where the miracle surgeon works. And just to have it fail, that's not what's happening. You're going to do it and it's going to work. And if I had Googled the procedure or any of that, or like outcomes and statistics, I don't think I would have just believed that I was going to be okay, and it wouldn't have come out as well.
That's really great advice, especially it's speaking to me right now and my whole like pulling back from online, because when I found out my diagnosis, first of all, I had been diagnosed with it without me really knowing. They called it something different. They just said I had a tumor. They said I had a cyst. They didn't call it a tumor. Technically anything that's abnormal is considered a tumor. Right. As you well know, but they didn't call it that. They did tell me, the first people that I started investigating my knee thing with, they did tell me that if they used to remove things like that, but they would just come right back. Yeah. And right now it's helping my knee not over move. So it's kind of doing a job for me. But as I got online, I didn't really research it that much because I did go to a really good doctor in Johns Hopkins, pay a lot of money to have him be like, turn your phone on, you're going to record all this so you know. And he gave me the rundown, but he was telling me about removing the synovial tissue and what you can do, but he was very clear, like you said. I will say that in 25% of cases, it does come back. Right. And then I got online and I joined a synovial chondromatosis group and started hearing about people's experiences. And every single one, first of all, the majority of the people that have this are men. I'm rare within that even rare thing that I have. Right. But every single person, for the most part on this group, the majority of them are women. So I'm thinking, okay, like, so I'm not getting the bulk of the view here, because I have to imagine that most men are not getting on a Facebook group to figure out what's going on.
Right.
So I'm only hearing from people who are like probably the most desperate, probably, they're the rarest of the rare within this. Yeah. And then also, like, in 25% of cases, it comes back. So, okay, like, that's a high variable, but it's also, when you consider 75% of the cases are fine, what am I actually digesting here? So in my heart, like, part of the reason why I was breaking down with all of this, to your point, is I'm thinking about all the things that I've digested on the internet and the research that I've done and what I've come to so far. And instead of believing that it's going to get better and maybe just go into a surgery, afraid
it's going to get worse.
And see, I'm just thinking, how is this going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse? And really staving off the surgery, which has a 75% chance of helping me potentially. And maybe even more, maybe that'll start a whole journey of where I fix the shit. I don't know. I don't know. But part of it for me, even before all of that, was like, before I fell and everything, was like, this is getting, like I was thinking, this is getting rough. Like, this is getting more rough than I want to feel regularly. And I'm having trouble even get doing the things that they say I have to do, like getting stronger and like all that stuff, getting up and down off the floor. So you're right, because before COVID and before I got online and before that was more a part of my habit to go there, I never did that before. And I remember going into that doctor's office, and I remember the doctor like kind of saying to me, like, it's my job and it necessary for me, because I was exploring stem cell replacement therapy for my knee. And he said, it's my obligation to tell you this isn't FDA approved. It might not work. And I said, well, I get it's your obligation, but you don't have to do that. I said, I like to think that all of you are here to help me. And that what you do is magic, and it's just going to work. And that was my mindset, genuinely. And he kind of looked at me like, all right, like he was kind of like happy and relieved that he didn't have to deal with what I am now, which is super skeptical and super paranoid. And like, are you going to screw me? Like, like all these things that I'm thinking now, that it's such a great thing that you said. It's really difficult once you have information to get yourself into that headspace. But I think that you're right. Like, it's just so important to believe that it's going to get better.
Yeah.
It's so important. You can't
unring the bell. So sometimes it's better not to overeducate yourself. But you have to believe. It's very, very important. Success of transplants and spine surgeries and everything, you have to believe.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the biggest difference and maybe one of my superpowers is that I have a seemingly unending ability to believe.
Same. Well, and I forget about a lot of shit too. I was talking to my friend. I was like, I don't have neither long-term or short-term memory. Like, I can literally do something and in that same second forget what I did.
Me too. Or be in the middle of a sentence and forget what I'm saying.
But I think it makes me a happier person.
Because you forget some of the shit that happens.
Well, it keeps me present, like, okay, well, I'm here now. So I don't know what I just did. I don't know what's going to happen ahead, but I know I'm here right now. So shit.
Man, I wish I felt that way. See, this is the difference between like a super traumatizing childhood and like a super not traumatizing childhood. Is like you looked at it like inquisitively, right? Whereas I'm like, oh fuck, what now? like I'm able to leap to the worst possible conclusion in record time.
Well, and I think that makes perfect sense because you're like you said, you can't unring the bell. Like I don't,
right?
I don't.
Yeah.
Then you stop asking questions. You're like, oh no, I don't want to know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, I learned, if there's one thing I've learned in this life on Earth school, it is that ignorance really is fucking bliss.
Right.
Like,
and if you don't think it can scale, it can. It can. All things are possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And learned ignorance is a thing.
Yes.
Chosen, learned, active, choosing ignorance.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. There's unknown people climbing out of a car with small children not in seatbelts or car seats outside. So that's cool.
Lord.
Strength. God, give me the strength to change things I can.
I'm praying for 2 consistent years for you guys.
I think this year so if we tripled our income with the business from 2023 to 2024, I'm saying when we do tax of 2025, we're going to be like, God dang.
Yeah. Like, yeah. You should be able to walk into something.
I believe in us. I believe.
I was getting to with your list. Do you know you can have a whole affiliate list on Amazon and they get you kickbacks? So
yep, I've got that. Yep. Good. I'm an Amazon affiliate and now I'm a plaid creator for Plaid Crafts, which makes me so happy in my heart because like my great grandmother Mabel made my Christmas stocking with Plaid Crafts Bucilla kit. I now create stockings and ornaments with Plaid Crafts. So like
that's wonderful.
To me, it's a beautiful thing. And so like I've been posting tutorials and stuff newly, like stitching tutorials. It's funny though, for me, I end up doing a tutorial. It sounds like a podcast because I'll like tell stories while I'm doing stuff and then I'll be like, okay, now we'll do the thing, which I kind of like better because it's like more entertaining and, and like I crack a lot of jokes and
they can do it with you.
I leave my bloopers in because I'm like, let other people laugh with you. Like, you don't have to take out every blooper or whatever, Yeah. Like sometimes I'll like trip over my words and I'll be like, words are hard, and then I'll keep going. I love it, dude. I think that the world appreciates you more when you just show up human instead of like trying to show up as some perfect enigma that nobody can live up to.
I was saying that the other day, in the reverse though, because we started watching The Pasta Queen. And have you ever seen this?
I've heard of her. No.
Okay. She cooks in the most outlandish things you've ever seen in your life. I'm just like, there is no way that white dress is not getting covered in grease right now. Like I'm seeing what's happening in that pan and I see what you're wearing. And I looked at Rico and I was like, do Italian women really cook like that? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, no. Listen.
Without an apron?
Right. And that's what I said. I said, in that dress. And he's like, well, yeah, they have an apron on. I was like, where the fuck is her apron? Where's her apron? Like, this is ridiculous. And, I'm watching her and I'm like,
we suck all the joy out of TV because we want to make it rational. We're like, this is illogical.
My favorite way to learn this, because I've learned half the shit that she's talking about from Matteo Lane. Do you know about Matteo Lane?
Oh my God.
He's amazing. He's an awesome comedian. He used to do I think he's like normal gay, like he's not flaming gay, but maybe he is. I don't know. But he's fabulous and so freaking funny. And I think he just put out a cookbook, but like him and his friend Nick, and Nick is a whole other character, do these like cooking shows together where Nick will prepare the dish his way and Mateo will do it his way.
Oh my God.
Dude, it is the funniest shit ever. And Mateo, I don't know, like he used to be a sketch artist. He used to do like storyboarding and stuff like that. So he's really talented in many different ways. And he's lived a lot of life. But dude, his comedy is so hilarious, and I love watching him cook. I hope that's what it goes into, is some kind of cooking thing with him, because that is the pasta queen. That is the pasta queen I want to learn from. This woman, I know what you said about women is wrong, because like I'm looking at this woman and I'm getting really mad, because I know that that's not the outfit you can wear. That's not what's really happening. If there is a queen of pasta, it is Mateo Lane. Okay? Not that woman. I don't care.
He would be so happy to hear you say that, I bet. He'd be like, "Aw, thanks."
Like, women are definitely meaner to other women. And she is like a legacy family of like pasta. I think she's like from the macaroni family or something. I don't know. Like they've been making pasta for generations. Like I get it. She has legitimacy in the field. It's like it's like,
but where's the real outfit?
I'm just like, come on, man. Like, I don't.
You got cute aprons too. I have a Superwoman apron, and I have a polka dot apron, and
there's so many ways that she could do that. There's been moments now that she's kind of like pierced the veil a little bit. Like she's fed the camera crew, which I was like, yeah, more of that. Like, show that. Like, that's great. like I want to see that. And I'm like, babe, like, is that? He's like, oh, they're just showing her boobs for like, to get people's attention. And I'm like, this is so much of what I don't like in life.
Well, we're not built for this place.
I just, and then there's people, I was saying the other day, like I do look forward to the time when what we have left is our soul. Like that's all that we have, because there are people that I've met in tattooing that like, I wish they looked the way that their soul is, because it's so beautiful, and I can see it. Like I'm glad that I get that view, but like it sucks when you can't see the reality. When there's that veil between
even
you
if
and
it's just a thin veil, you can still feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think people are craving connection so much now because we became so disconnected, and things have been there's just been so much conflict. I saw in my local news people tweeting things like, seriously, like, what is this? Like, what is it? How have we been trapped in a 12-year election cycle at this point? Like, this has been going on for a long time. And human brains are not, when we were a kid, there would be an election. There was a few minutes or a few months leading up to the election where shit would get heavy. There'd be an election, and then it'd be done, and people would move on with their lives.
Maybe in your family.
My
family was so political.
Maybe because I grew up like in Flint, but like it was like that is the majority of people, though. Yeah. Like you voted, you participated in your civic duty, and you voted, and then whatever the outcome was, that's what the outcome was, because we're a democracy. And now it's like that's not a thing anymore. It's like freaking guerrilla warfare out here. You got people stealing people's yard signs and flags, and like people still arguing, a year after or 6 months after an election, and people are still like, have the day you voted for. And it's like, fuck, man, everybody is judging everybody so hard. Like, nobody voted for everybody to have a bad day. Shut up, you stupid asshole. Nobody went to the voting booth like, I really hope I make everybody else's life suck right now. Like, that's not a thing. I mean,
maybe it's a thing. I mean,
it's a thing for some people.
I'm sure.
Like, I feel like on the grand scale, everyday citizens are not walking into a voting booth thinking, how can I fuck somebody else's day up right now?
Yeah.
They're just voting for the things they care about.
Yes.
That's it. And it's again, a lot of us want the same. A lot of us have the same values and we want the same things. We just don't always agree on how to get there.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're supposed to necessarily, because I think that all those spaces deserve their people and their energy.
Well, yeah. And human innovation needs to happen.
Yes.
And nothing changes if nothing changes. And like, it's all part of the process.
Yep.
But it doesn't have to be so personal all the time. It does not have to be so personal all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
My friend Gunnar, he's been hitting me up before because he's struggling, because he knows he's supposed to walk into a certain space. He's really being hit spiritually and seeing a lot of it and being saturated. And it's a lot to take in. And I've not been on like my connection with God very long, but I always believed in God, you know, like I always had that, like that was more my center than any of the other noise to begin with. I just didn't really know. And I didn't really start studying it and really giving myself up to it regularly. So it's been a wild thing for most people, but he's like, I've been trying to reinforce with him a big thing that I have to remind myself. And this is something that, like, I think when we first met, you had said to me that was really helpful to me. So it's good to give it back to you. But like you had said, you know, we're different. We walk into our fear, you know, like a lot of people run from their fear and they run from fear. But we walk into it because we know that we have to, first of all. And also, like, if you do that, you realize what you really are afraid of and not afraid of. But that's not a common thing. And you become
courageous.
Yeah.
You become courageous. And it's the only way to build courage is to walk into the fear.
Yeah, exactly. And it won't stop. You're going to be afraid regardless. But if you don't walk into it, you're not going to know, you're just going to be afraid and you're going to be paralyzed. You're not going to be doing anything. So for me, it's always about like, okay, what can I do? I want to do like, so if it means that I have to walk into the shit, I'm doing something at least, you know, like, and that way, if somebody comes at me sideways, I can be like, okay, well, what are you doing? Like, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
If we can trade notes about what we are doing, but if you're not doing anything and you're just coming over here because you don't like what I'm doing, well, fuck off, you know, like, like screw you.
Yeah.
Like, so I told him, I said, you know, the biggest thing, hun, is it said 365 times in the Bible, fear not. Enough that you can remind yourself every single day of the year. Fear not. I'm like, that is a very potent, powerful message that you are supposed to remind yourself of every single day. And if it means embracing what you're afraid of and walking into it, fine. But like, you cannot let fear override you. And it's not that I'm not afraid. I have lots of things to be afraid of. I have this overarching feeling, you know, I wouldn't feel, and you wouldn't feel the sense of justice and what is wrong and what is right if there weren't those principles, if they didn't actually exist. And I have to believe that the right wins. Yeah. I have to believe that, or else I'd just kill myself.
Or else I'd give up. Yeah, right, exactly. I have to believe that the good outweighs the bad.
Right.
And right will win, or I will give up.
Right. And in the biblical principle, if you read the whole book. I'm sorry.
We don't let them win. I was just going to say, as we discussed before, we don't let them win. No. And that's letting them win.
And it's funny because he was like, he'll ask me questions like, who's them? And I'm like, evil. Mm-hmm. Evil. That's them. Any agent of evil. It's not people. It's the thing that drives them to do shitty things. Yeah. It's not them. That's the they. Yeah. I mean evil. Like when I talk about that, it's not a person, it's not a faction. It is, but it's a force. Yeah. That fights for something that I don't think is good. Yeah. So, or that isn't good. And I think we all are kind of biologically, like, we're aware of that dichotomy inside, and we know. And so I said, you know, in a biblical sense, I've read the end. God wins. So really, look, Is there going to be pain? Is there going to be suffering? Is there going to be bullshit? Is there going to be all? Yes.
Because we're not in control.
Correct.
The same therapist said to me, if we were in control, we wouldn't get sick. We wouldn't get hurt. The people we love wouldn't die. Yeah. None of that would happen. Correct. So, like, we're not in control. And the sooner you come to grips with that and operate within that lack of control and let go of that feeling of that need to control, the easier it will be, because you can't. And that's really when I got grounded in that whole, like, I'm not going to keep trying to anticipate catastrophes in the future that may or may not happen. Because, like, who's got the spoons for that, man?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is that, like, I had it for a great part of my life. I was able to hold on to it for a very long time, but it was social media.
Me too.
I think that really, for myself, kind of took me away from it in a big way. Because it is, like you said, it's just a glimpse of a reality you're getting spoon-fed things that are not the full story. Yeah. And the only way to get the full story is really touching base with the people in your life. Have you ever read Illusions, I think it's either The Path or The Journey of a Reluctant Messiah?
Mm-mm.
It's a good little...
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
I've heard of that book.
It's a good one.
Is that...
Yeah.
Have you ever read The Way of the Peaceful Warrior?
It's a good one. That's a really good book. That's a really good book.
It was so good.
It's very much in tandem with that, but it's less, because in that one, you have your kind of story where there's an acute fall and a need for recovery. Yeah. In The Path of the Reluctant Messiah, it's more kind of showing you in a very analytical, almost neurodivergent way, like what you said, like we can detach our emotions sometimes by the reality of things and really bring things to a very potent focus. That's kind of what it does. It kind of challenges reality in such a way and concepts in such a way that I think it teaches people how to do that well. Like, for example, the Messiah, the guy that's teaching his little, like, Padawan person, who he's adopted as the next, he says, how many people are in your world? And he's like, oh, there's billions. And he's like, no, not in the world, in your world, in the world. The world is not this thing that, like, he's like, you only have the ability to affect the people that you're around. Like that's it. Like, you don't know that person over in China. They might exist or not, but they don't exist to you. Yeah. Like, not really. That's not your world. Right. Who's in your world? Because those are the players. That's who you can actually take part in and affect and change and stuff. And I think that's a big thing, is that, like, when we're hearing about things that are just, like, not in our world, like, and it's not relevant, it scrambles the hardwire, and it doesn't allow us to know what to do or to move. It's just paralyzing. And again, that's why I love a service job, because, like, and being with people for long hours and, like, just hearing about their experiences in their lives, it's like, that is everything. I might have more people in my world than the average person just because that's the work I do. But, like,
I've never heard another tattoo artist think of themselves as a service giver. Or
it can't be about the art. I don't like that anymore. Like, I know that sounds weird, but
you're the first tattoo artist that I've heard say, like, really talk about the human connection like that the art form entails. And it really does. Like, it's an intimate experience.
Yes.
Like,
you wrote a whole book about it.
Yeah. It did. It's an intimate experience. Guys.
Skin in the game.
Yeah. Skin in the Game, The Stories My Tattoos Tell is my first memoir. I definitely need to get writing another book. That's another thing, is, like, now that I'm kind of like coming out of the anxiety hidey hole, I really want to write a book about everything that happened after that, because the book itself ended in like late 2018, and I wrote the afterword right before, like early 2019, before I found out about all the surgeries coming. So
wow.
It's kind of a cliffhanger, because I was like waiting to get my spinal cord stimulator at that point. So a lot happened between then and now. And the one thing I've learned is sharing my experiences and stories has helped other people with other rare conditions or the same rare conditions figure out their stories. And that is all I want.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to help other people feel less alone than I did.
Yeah.
And less alienated.
Yeah.
And like help them find ways to live a fulfilling life. Even though you have to change, everything can change so quickly in life, and you might have everything flip on its head, but that doesn't have to be the end of your story.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and if nothing else, you did something. Like, that's the biggest thing for me is like, where's your book? Like, I do, like, I always think about that. I'm like, okay, where's your book?
When people talk shit about like, oh, so-and-so's book sucked. Oh, well, I bet they make more money than you do. Like, somebody liked it enough to buy it. They wrote it. They published it. My stepdad's such a dick. Him and my mom got into a fight because he was being so shitty to me. Oh, Jeff just pulled up home, so I should probably go to the pharmacy soon. But
yeah. I want to let you go and get that steroid
He was like,
pack.
what was the point? He was like, what was the point in her writing that book anyway? And she goes, I'm sorry, did one of your kids write a fucking book?
Right.
Did you write a book? She's like, that's the point. She wrote a book. She did something that very few people in this world say they're going to do, let alone set out and do it and publish it. Yep. And she did it. And that's all she needed to do. Like, fuck off.
Well, and for posterity too, like in terms of tattooing, so when I would put out my my portfolios, I wouldn't just put out pictures.
Yeah.
I would put out why my client got it.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my God, I love this.
Yes.
Like,
that is so much more interesting than just flipping through a photo album of crappy, like, film pictures.
So I love that you allowed yourself to revisit trauma, first of all, because that's part of the reasons why you got the tattoos that you have in a lot of ways, and your story, but then use that as a way to have pictures throughout it, so the whole thing's illustrated, you can give all that. And then you told people about why you got the tattoo. And for me, like, a tattoo doesn't have to be the best tattoo in the world if the reason that you got it was super integral and it means the world to you, and you can speak about it like that. And for me, when I was starting out, that was really important to me. It was like, why is this person getting this? How can I best comment on this? And people loved it. And it was great because it expanded what they were able to do. So it helps much.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
Amy says hi. He can't hear you because I'm on my Bluetooth thing, but we ended up recording anyway. I told him that I didn't know if we were going to record because of your knee. I was like, I don't know if she's going to have the spoons, but yeah, I guess this is a good time to. I know. I can't believe what time it is. It's almost 4. I should go pick up my steroid pack and take it.
I want to give you that relief.
But thank you so much. It's been so fun getting to hang out and talk today.
Oh, no problem. Before you leave, will you tell everybody where they can follow you, how best they can support you, and just all the fun things that you have, like just things that could draw people into you.
Yeah, so my website is kellyjmendenhall.com, which my name sounds complicated, but it's just 3 little words in one big long name, Mendenhall.
It's very phonetic.
kellyjmendenhall.com, and you'll find my shop on there, The Affordable Art Revolution, where you can pick a price for whatever item you purchase based on what is feasible for you and your budget. My mission is to make handcrafted art and folk art and hand stitching and embroidery more accessible to people with disabilities everywhere, whether they want to make it or buy it or whatever. So that I do that through the Affordable Art Revolution, and And I changed the pricing structure so that there's like a this will cover the cost of materials and shipping, and then this will cover cost of materials and shipping, and you can give a small little blessing, and then this is like full retail price. So the shopper can pick what's like comfortable and doable for them.
Awesome.
And they don't have to think about like, am I paying too much? Am I paying too little? But it makes it more accessible to everybody. So
that's awesome.
And you can find me on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and pretty much everything as Kelly J Mendenhall.
Yes. And Chronic Creators.
Chronic Creators Unite. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a free Facebook group, and you can find links to it on my website. But I have a group on Facebook called Chronic Creators Unite. It's kind of a double entendre because a lot of us live with invisible disabilities, and a lot of us use cannabis to manage our symptoms. So it was a play on words in a couple different ways. But yeah, and it's just a support community where people can share what they're creating, no matter what type of art or creative expression it is, and also get support for living with these like chronic invisible diseases or diagnoses, and commiserate and help each other a little bit. So
I can tell you it's the most positive thing on my Facebook feed.
That means a lot to me. Yeah. Like, I had somebody that I went to school with last summer. I saw him at a party, or 2 summers ago. I saw him at a party. We hadn't seen each other since high school. And he said, I just need you to know that I get on Facebook every day just to see what you've written, because I am a male living with fibromyalgia, and you are the only person that made me feel seen and supported. And he was like, so I don't use social media as a general rule. And his wife was standing right there, and he goes, but you can ask her, like, and she goes, he checks every day to see if you like posted or wrote anything that day. And it touched me so much, because I was like, holy shit. Like, at that time when he told me that, I was at the bottom of my like mental dark place. So like, for him to say that to me was like so meaningful and uplifting. So you never know, like, you never know, like the smallest little thing you say or do can totally turn around somebody's day or week or whatever.
It's awesome. You're awesome. I'm very grateful for this time. Thank you.
I'm grateful. Yeah, thank you. And I love you, and I hope that your knee feels better. Please rest.
I appreciate that. I will. The rest of my day, I'm resting.
All right.
I'm listening. I love you, girl. Well, have fun, and I pray that this helps a lot.
Yeah. Yes. We'll talk soon.
Bye, beautiful.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, listeners, you heard it. Kelly J Mendenhall. KellyJMendenhall.com. It's a very phonetic name. Go follow her. Definitely, as the holidays come up, check out the kind of art that she has. It's really beautiful, very unique, classic, just really fun. And I think that I'm not here to tell people how to spend their money, but I think that if you know where your money's going and who it's going to and the level of integrity and care that's put into it, it adds quite a bit. And, if you're patriotic and American, made in America, like that's there. There's been a lot of love and care put into the things that Kelly is doing and does. And you're supporting a human that her only want and care is to help and to make life more bearable, more awesome for all of us. So yeah, that is a gift that you're going to be giving to her, that you're going to be giving to yourself, you're going to be giving to the world. It's just all very awesome. Kelly, I thank you so much, hon. You're such a beautiful, beautiful human. However you thought you would take on this world and fix it, and however much you have been derailed, I genuinely think that you're probably helping the world more now than you ever could have. You are a miracle. You're a blessing. And I love you. And I thank you so much for this time. We definitely have to do this again. Next time, I will try to know more about audio. I probably won't, but if nothing else, we did a thing and it was wonderful. So listeners, even though you're catching this late in the week, I hope the rest of the week is very powerful. Make it powerful. I love you. God bless you. And I'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening. You can find the Apprenticeship Diaries on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our IG is _apprenticeship_diaries. If you would like to offer constructive criticism or an interview, drop us an email at theapprenticeshipdiaries@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from our listeners.